Hi, I am with Fred Loomis today. Fred is another wonderful survivor of pancreatic cancer. I'm wondering, from your part, Fred, if you could share with us a little bit about what you're grateful for.
I'm a 7-year survivor, Anne-Marie, and you're an inspiration to me and have been for a long time. But I was first receiving my treatment at Penn, valet parking attendant. That day, it happened to be an old man, probably in his 70s, parking cars. And I said to him, "My man, you have a good day today." And he said, "Son, I'm having a good day. I woke up this morning." So that became kind of my mantra. I woke up this morning. Today is a good day. Even though I was on chemotherapy that day, his words stuck with me.
Oh, that's great. You are a remarkable person, and you are an inspiration to me as well, and to a lot of us here, and probably to more people once they see this, Fred. So thank you. Tell us how you came to learn about your pancreatic cancer.
I was diagnosed in 2014. I was 59 years old at the time, and I really had no pain at all, but I was losing weight rapidly for about a month at about 5 pounds a week. So by the time I was diagnosed and had my first CAT scan, I was almost wasting away. And it became clear that I had a tumor on the head of the pancreas. I also discovered a thrombus in my superior mesenteric vein. So I was diagnosed borderline resectable. They would have to do a vein resection, be very complicated and risky procedure. So the recommendation was first to do chemotherapy to see if the tumor would shrink, the thrombus might dissipate, and to make the surgery less complicated. After 2 years of chemotherapy and radiation therapy, the tumor remained stable. So that was good news. I didn't have progression, but the thrombus remained, and I was considered to be just too high a risk for surgery. So I'm one of the lucky ones, Emery. I survived pancreatic cancer over 5 years now without surgery. But in March of 2017, I did have progression to the liver. So I had a lesion, 2 lesions on the liver. And then I went for second opinions at the recommendation of Penn, and my doctor at Penn, Dr. Teitelbaum, you know well, who's given me wonderful treatment.
She's awesome.
But she wanted me to, let's see what we can do. She knew doctors at Fox Chase, Dr. Stanisoff. So I went to see him, and he recommended a liver ablation procedure. And I had that done at Penn right away in March of 2017. And after that, that was successful. After that, we decided to discontinue treatment because we didn't really know what we were treating. And so I have been off treatment now for 5 years and with scans every 6 months. And I'm just grateful that I haven't had further progression. I'm fortunate that I haven't had the pain and the suffering really, and the minimal side effects from the chemotherapy. I have neuropathy in my feet, that kind of thing, but really onset diabetes that I'm managing with oral medication after injection therapy for 2 years. So I've been able to manage that well, and with diet and exercise. So I'm really one of the lucky ones. And we don't really know why I'm here, but I'm just, every day I wake up, I'm grateful for that day.
Well, and you look terrific. You really do. I think attitude really does help a lot too. You know, that will to survive every day when you wake up. So I think that
I enjoy like sharing my story. I've talked to a lot of survivors too, just to give them hope. I mean, I think that's important. That's the motto of PanCan, to wage hope. And I certainly believe in that too. So yeah, if you can approach things with a positive attitude and be grateful for each day and welcome the love and support that you get from your family and friends. And cancer does give you a different perspective on life. So it's kind of unique. We're all in this fraternity of cancer survivors, so we know what that means.
For sure. You know, if I could just go back a little bit, you had mentioned you were losing weight.
At that age, I was always trying to lose weight. You know, I was probably about 25, 30 pounds overweight. I began to lose weight. You know, I thought, this is great. My diet's finally working. Pretty clear, when people would come up to you and say, "Are you feeling okay? You don't look well." I says, "Well, you need to get that checked out." So, I first went to a gastroenterologist. I had a colonoscopy because I was due for a colonoscopy. That was negative. So after that, and I continued to lose weight, the gastroenterologist sent me for a CAT scan. As far as I know, that's the best diagnostic tool we have available. And I would encourage people, continue to pursue that, because a lot of people, they go through different stages with these symptoms, and it might be 3 or 4 months before they're diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And the sooner the better. If you can get it before there's vein involvement, or if it's operable, surgery is the only cure.
Right.
Pancreatic cancer. So the sooner you can get to surgery, and we were always trying to get there with chemotherapy and shrink the tumor, but with me, it just didn't work, and I didn't qualify for any clinical trials either.
And I know that you said you sought other opinions when the lesions appeared on your liver. I don't know if you did that up front when you were looking for oncology.
Yes, I did, and then you have to sort that out. So initially, I went to Jefferson. Well, first I was diagnosed at Fox Chase, and then I'd heard about a world-renowned pancreatic cancer surgeon, Dr. Yo, at Jefferson, and I went to see him. But at that time, the school of thought was to do chemotherapy first, to eliminate any kind of microcells that might remain after surgery. And so I went for a second opinion with a surgeon, Dr. Vollmer at Penn, and he recommended chemotherapy first before surgery, that the surgery would be too risky. So I decided to go with that recommendation. Chemotherapy and radiation, I went back to Dr. Yo, and yet it was, in his judgment, too risky a procedure for me to have surgery. And that was confirmed by Dr. Vollmer. And then not too long after that, I had the liver lesion. And then I also went to Johns Hopkins for an opinion about the liver lesion and any clinical trials that might be available, and Sloan Kettering. I'd encourage everybody to take advantage of all the expertise that we have. There's so much we don't know about what causes and cures cancer generally. And pancreatic cancer is a bit of a mystery. Everybody's case is a little bit different, but there are some commonalities, in terms of treatment and success. I think we should study more how people survive cancer and why they do. I'd love to read that study.
Fred, I know that you are a teacher, and you were diagnosed while on faculty at Penn State, correct?
Yeah, I was able to continue teaching. In fact, I would teach when I was getting chemotherapy. I was able to retire, but now I teach part-time because I find the interaction with students to be life-giving for me. I'll share one other story. I had to go to my podiatrist, and he said, I told him about my condition. He says, "I have a lot of experience with cancer in my family. Let me give you some advice. Don't dwell on your illness." He says, "When you do that, you're just hurting the people around you, and they're feeling the pain more than you are sometimes. So just don't dwell on it. Just stay positive." So I thought, that was the best advice I got. I just had a session with a psychiatrist. I told him, I got better advice from you, my foot doctor, different psychiatrist. Just take one day at a time. And if you can continue to work, that's a good thing. And you have to be educated about your treatment plan, because ultimately it's your decision about what to do. Never give up. And I think keep hope alive and utilize the wonderful resources of PanCan and the family of members and supporters of PanCan, because they're all, I think, there for you. And take advantage of these wonderful medical experts that we have in our community. Because I know they're working so hard each day to do research, and I know they're happy to see you and they're happy to see me, because we're success stories to them. And I know how painful it is for them to lose a patient. It's tough, very tough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're so grateful for them, for sure, and family and friends, our entire support network. It's really what keeps us going.
You bet.
So thank you so much, Fred. You are an inspiration, and it's always so nice to speak with you.
My pleasure.